And welcome to another beautiful edition of the Locker Room on Voice of the People TV. I'm Jerry High, and we've got a thrilling show for you today. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Maiwa, who are ready to break down all the action and share their whole takes on what's going down in the football world. So let's get into it. So stay tuned, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't get to miss an episode of the Locker Room. It's live. You can also join us via the WhatsApp number showing on your screen to join the conversation. Ikechukwu, once again, welcome to Locker Room.
Good evening, Jerry, and good evening to our viewers. It's so good to be here again.
You sound like Man United's transfer window. I thought you moved to Chelsea.
I don't understand what you mean by...
Is it for the rest of the season or just yesterday?
How does Manchester United transfer window?
There's nothing happening. There's no life in it. Nothing is going on there. It's cobwebs already growing inside the transfer window of Manchester United.
Well, Mayo will attend to this question, not me.
Mayo, okay, you're not a Chelsea fan.
I just reviewed my pledge yesterday.
Yeah, you're a Chelsea fan. You said so. All right. Anyway, Mayo, I don't understand. Definitely is still making moves. Talking to Fabrizio to make move for Manchester United. I understand how difficult it is to make transfers when it comes to Ratcliffe, because that man, wow, he's one of most, would I say, prudent owners of even the Glazers even did better. I think Man United fans would prefer Glazers now, with the way in terms of buying of players, because nothing is happening in the business side of Manchester United. Maiwa, I understand how difficult it is. I've been talking about how Ratcliffe has been making your scouting of players for Manchester United difficult. It's great to have you join us on Locker Room.
Well, it's always amazing to be here. I don't know what Manchester United is doing at the moment, but the thing is, I think the club is not that attractive to players. How the mighty has fallen, and we even have one of our core fans defects to Chelsea under the guise of Chelsea will not win the World Cup club, just as an avenue to dump the club. But in any case, the struggle continues. We see what Amorim and the boys will be able to do. But to be honest with you, I don't think Ineos, they know what they are doing. If by now you don't have players lined up, you don't have players signed yet, when are they going to get it done? But in any case, it's a good talk football. Thank you for having me, Jerry.
All right, thank you very much for joining us. And then let's hit the ground running. The home-based Super Eagles secured a 1-0 victory over Nigerian Premier Football League champions Remo Stars in their first warm-up match ahead of the 2024 African Nations Championship. Despite missing an early penalty through Vincent Temitokwe, the Eagles bounced back with a goal from Abia Warriors striker Anthony Ijoma to seal the win. I don't know, maybe that should be Kizzy's brother, but it is what it is. And the match was part of the team's build-up under head coach Eric Chell, who began preparations with the squad last week in Ikene. More friendly matches are scheduled before the team depart for the CHAN finals, where Nigeria is grouped alongside defending champions Senegal, Sudan, and Congo in Group D. Nigeria's campaign will kick off against Senegal on the 7th of August at the Amman Stadium in Zanzibar. And the 2024 CHAN tournament will be jointly hosted by Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania from August 2 to August 30th. Okay? Beating Remo Stars, is it a good preparation so far, so good for the CHAN Eagles?
Absolutely. I mean, what a way to start your campaign. If you can actually defeat the best team in the land, Remo Stars are the champion of the Nigerian League. So if you can actually defeat them right there in their home turf, yeah, it says a lot about how prepared you are as a team. And of course, conversations and talks have been coming about how the guys are actually preparing, how Eric Schell have been drilling the boys. And I think it's a very good one. This is a very good way to start. And the campaign is really, getting into the boys. I just hope, we'll finally land this particular silverware. It's a tournament we're here to win. So I would like to see them go all the way to winning so that they can actually see themselves as, good fit for the future for the Super Eagles.
All right, Maiwa, I understand that the team is preparing, is ready to go, and Eric Chow and his coaching crew is putting the team together. But one would say 1-0 against Remo Stars. Is it that there's still a lot of work to do in terms of firepower in front of goal? They missed the penalty and barely made it out with a 1-0 victory.
Well, I mean, Remo Star is not it's not a small club in Nigeria. What the owners of Remo Star have done in so little time, getting to the summit of the Nigerian league in so little time, being part of the league, is a testament to the kind of preparation, the kind of team they've been able to build in that short period of time. Remo Star did not win the league by fluke. Last season they were also very close to the top, and now 2 seasons ago they were very close to the top. Last season they eventually won the league, and they brought in a coach that knows how it's done. It shows the kind of passion that goes in. So I mean, they are playing the champions of the Nigerian league. You don't expect it to be, a very easy match. But the Chani goes, they come up with the victory, and that's what matters. What matters is they were able to produce results even when they were playing against stiff competition, and that goes a long way to show. That goes a long way in helping them to prepare for that particular tournament. Yeah, yes, you might want to say, they should be taking their chances properly. But I mean, we all know penalty, anybody can miss penalty, and it's part of the game. The big question will be, what will be their showing in the competition that is coming up in barely about 21 days from now? What will be their performance in that particular competition? And also, the major thing that we should be looking at is, as a child, who is tinkering the team, how many of those players will be able to make our next qualifier? How many of those players will really count worthy enough to be part of the national team? Because I mean, the essence of having a child handle this team is to see the viability of majority of these players. Is to see their viability in terms of integrating them into the national team. How many of them will you be able to integrate, irrespective of how they perform at that competition? Because I want to assume that since he's part of them now, he's already noting names of those that are part of the Super Eagles. But in any case, it's a good result. Let's see how they fare against tougher opponents when the competition starts in August.
All right, it is what it is. August is around the corner. They have less than 1 month to prepare for their first game, which is a very, very tough one because they're playing the defending champions in Senegal. Do you think that they will have what it takes to go against the Senegalese side and come out with a win?
It's going to be quite interesting to see. Of course, if we have to look at Senegal in Africa has a very interesting project. I think they have the very best set of young players emanating from Africa in recent times. So it tells you a lot that, yes, it's going to be a very big game. But then, of course, another factor we have to look into is how big is the Senegalese league, because this is exactly where the conversation is headed, because it is CHAN, and the best of your league is expected to be part of those who form the national team. Now, how many Senegalese players, are even top players in other club sides in Africa? These are the questions. So I don't really think, as far as African football is concerned, in terms of league development, in terms of quality of players residing in the leagues, or quality of Senegalese players based in Africa, I don't really think they are really a big one. But of course, when it comes to African football, home advantage is a very, very big thing. I think we are yet to actually shed that part of us. And going into that particular game against Senegal is going to be very, very interesting for 2 reasons. First, we are actually going into a land where these guys are a powerhouse in African football generally, and they always love to win at home. So it's going to be difficult, getting a 3-point there. Again, first game in every tournament is very, very difficult. You need time now to actually acclimatize with the weather, understand how the turf is and all of that. So it's going to be difficult to actually get the 3-point. But then looking at the quality that we have, and of course the quality that the Senegalese will be having in that particular game, I don't think the quality is going to be the decider. What most likely decide the game is what exactly will happen before the game proper. Like how are the guys actually faring, how emotional, how mentally stable they are going to that particular game. All of these are the conversations that will definitely determine what is going to be the result of that particular game. But then on the balance of scale, African football is quite difficult to actually get a win away from home, especially at this level where a lot of things are very well known. A lot of players are very well known. So it's going to be a big one, and it's going to be job of the coach to actually really come up with tactical plan to actually get the very best result in this particular game. I just hope the Super Eagles doesn't get to lose this first game, because if you lose your first game in the competition, it's going to go a long way to how you're going to fare in the competition in most times. So then this is a big call for Elisha, and of course Senegal and Mali, plays usually the same way. They are a very aggressive side. They are naturally very direct in the way they play. So I know that Elisha definitely must have understand how they actually will most likely set up their team. So that's exactly why I think conversations we've been hearing a couple of days is about how the Super Eagles have actually been drilled so hard, because of course you understand the nature of the assignment. So I just hope that we can get the very best results in that first game.
All right, we hope we get the very best result against the Senegalese side. Let's talk about the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And the team is talking tough ahead of their game on Friday against the Zambian side. And they call the Coppers, talking about the Zambian female national team. Super Falcons defender Tosin Dimei has confidently dismissed the threat posed by Zambia ahead of their quarter-final clash in the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON in Morocco. She stated that Zambia is not a tough team compared to Nigeria, pointing out the Falcons' solid defense, which is yet to concede a goal in the tournament. Nigeria topped Group B with 7 points, while Zambia came second in Group A with the same point tally out. But a weaker defensive record, having conceded 4 goals, despite Zambia's attacking duo of Barbara Banda and Rachel Kundanaji, I beg your pardon, scoring all 6 of their team's goals. The man remains optimistic about Nigeria's chances of progressing. Okay, I think with all the talk about the Zambian national team, Mayowa, I think they have a weakness. The fact that only 2 players have been the ones scoring the goals. All the Super Falcons need to concentrate on is making sure that those 2 players don't have a good game and continue with their defensive prowess. Yes, they've been defending well in this championship. Plumtree has been awesome. The main has been awesome as well. And of course, the best goalkeeper in the world, Chiamaka Nandioze, is our goalkeeper. So we don't have worry about goalkeeping issues. So they just need to make sure that those players don't play well, and our attack, they are sharp and good enough. I think the Zambians are good for the taking.
Well, the thing is, the Zambians have beaten us before. The last Nations Cup, we ended up 4th. That was the first time we are not coming on with the trophy. We ended up 4th. They beat us. They can do it again. The problem is this. Yes, you might say the Zambians have problem in terms of the number of people that have scored all their goals so far, which is Banda and I remember Banda is the current African footballer of the year. Banda and Kudenji. Those are the 2 ladies that have been scoring for the Zambian side. The goals has not been spread. Let's come to Nigeria. How many of our players have scored the goals for us? Only 3. There's an Okoronkwo, there's a Hiozo, and there's what's his name now? Ajibade, Hiozo, and Oshuala. 3 players. And we've been struggling in front of goals. Our attack has not been that sharp. We've been struggling in front of goals. The reason why, most of the time, it seems like we are a bit, we are not a bit troubled is because of the teams we play. We're a bit troubled against Botswana, even as much as they try to defend and the rest of that. If we meet a team like Zambia that will compete for the ball in the midfield, our defense might be under a lot of pressure and we might end up conceding goals. We have not considered any goals, but the way we are playing, I don't think if we mistakenly consider any goal against any team, we'll be able to come back. Our attack has been so poor, and I hope, even the midfield sometimes, because there's no connectivity between the midfield and the forward. The passes are not good enough, and that is the reason why, we're having difficulty in front of goals. If we have, if we can play the passes like the Zambians has been doing to their strikers, we'll probably have, much more chance on goal. But the passes have not been coming, and that's a big problem. And if we are playing against, a Zambia side that will not sit back and defend, they will also come out and compete for the balls in the midfield. It's going to be a very, very difficult game. What do we need to do? yes, we identified that 2 of their key players are the problem. We need to take them out of the game, as in mark them out. And I think we have the quality to do it. However, if we do not, take care of our scoring issues, if we do not take care of our second balls in the midfield, they might just have a fast break, and that might be the end for Nigeria. So Maiduguri needs to go back to the drawing board. What I saw in the third game, I was not impressed. I hope, the game against Zambia on Friday, I hope he's beginning to plot it well for us to be able to beat Zambia against Friday. If we play the same way we played against Botswana and Algeria, I think the Zambians might just nip it against Nigeria on Friday.
All right, and of course, talking about the defense line of the Zambians, they've conceded 4 goals, meaning that they are generous, and the Super Falcons will need to take advantage of that generosity and make sure the attackers score as many opportunities they get and defend very well against Kudanji and of course Banda. Then they say the rest is history.
Well, history has shown that in football, most times when 2 teams are about to square up, a side that scores, the attacking side usually come up best. Now, if you look at Nigeria and Zambia national team, you're looking at a side where the Super Eagles has considered less, right, against the Zambians have considered more. But of course, the Zambians have scored more goals than the Super Falcons. So it says a lot about the 2 sides. Now, if you look at these 2 teams going into this particular game, now something is going to be key. Zambians should be relying on the fact that we've done it before, right? Now the onus is on the Super Falcons to actually prove a point that we are still the same Super Falcons. We are still the same biggest brand in African football. We are going to actually win this particular game. Now, if you are unable to actually do, if you allow the pressure of this getting to you, if they allow the pressure rather of this getting to them going into this particular game, it's going to be a lot of problem. If the Zambians score first, how are these girls going to actually manage that game against a side that really knows how to get a lot of goals, which means it might really upset the team. And we've seen our coach, truly, right? Our coach hasn't shown to be a man who is, technically in depth as we want to expect, handling a team like this. Now, if you go into this particular game, if they score us first, what happens? How are these guys going to come back from the dead? Because these are the things that really defines big moments like this. The Zambians will definitely do everything in the playbook to actually get the best result. What if we keep on searching for the goals until about the 80th minute? How much of a mentality? Because all of these things, when it comes to knockout stage, you don't just look at the quality of players you have. You have to look at so many things: man management, mentality of the players, how ready are they to actually go, and relying on the fact that you are a side that I haven't considered more goals or yet to consider a goal in this tournament. It's not the same thing as it's not the same thing when you actually play in the group stage and when you are in the knockout stage. I'll give another example. Going in 2006 UEFA Champions League final. No, 2005 that was Liverpool. 2006 that was Barcelona and Arsenal. Arsenal's got the best defense in that Champions League. Barcelona scored the best attack in that Champions League because of the way they've actually been taking on teams. Now they got into that particular game. Arsenal was actually relying on the defense. They got the first goal, and what happened at the end of the day? Barcelona came from the dead and win that game. So if a team can actually keep getting goals, now you talked about trying to actually ensure that those 2 players have a bad game to actually seal it. But of course, how much this is actually going to be more of a coach. How well can we say we can trust Maiduguri based on the 3 games we've seen tactically?
Yeah, it's the only option we have.
That's what I'm saying.
Then we will have to make do what we have. And hopefully he has that at the back of his mind.
Now you're looking at the 4th game to say hopefully. Jerry, we've seen the first
at least what he has done successfully is making sure that this team has not considered a goal.
Jerry, see, we've not met a strong team in this tournament. That's why.
Well, are you trying to downplay the likes of Algeria?
Yes, I'm trying to I'm not even trying to downplay. Yes, they are not the big. They are not the big teams, Jerry. We know the big teams in African football.
Forget about big teams or not.
Jerry.
Teams have stepped up. That's the thing is that whether you like it or
Jerry,
not,
football.
female football. How many WAFCON have we had? We've had
9. That's all together.
All together.
I think about 13 or 12.
Yeah, so different teams have been coming to this.
This is 13th one. Nigeria only lost 2.
So definitely other teams will have to step up. The thing is that the kind of tempo, the kind of competition that other teams will get when they go into games will be different from the kind of rivalry it's going to be for the Super Falcons, because they know they are playing the best team in Africa. whether you like it or not. The Super Falcons, going into any WAFCON, they are the number one favorite. So every team coming to play Super Falcons will bring tears, sweat, and blood to every match. So it's not left for the Super Falcons to try as much as possible with the pressure coming from the opposition, give them their best, and get the result. You don't expect it to be like the day you used to be like the likes of Perpetual Kocha, where they were running around, scoring 10-0, 15-0 for it can never happen again.
Jerry,
we need to come to their reality.
No, Jerry, wait.
It will never be like that.
Even if it will never be like that.
Yeah.
Are you trying to absolve Botswana from the tag of a small team in female football in Africa?
That's not disrespect to any team to call them a small team.
Jerry, we see how small team in the world. So you tell me
to be disrespect to Algeria and Botswana.
Andorra will square up against England. You not see it's a small team.
That's a different case. So you're talking female football.
Yes, it's still the same thing now, Jerry. If you don't have it.
All right, go ahead.
Jerry, our current Super Falcons team, if they play any European team, let's say they play the likes of France, England, and the rest of them, and local parlance, they say they wipe you or IMO cut for neck. Something like that will happen. We are not showing class. The same tournament, South Africa is scoring goals for fun. They had a little glitch in their second game, but they are back to scoring goals for fun. Mali is scoring goals for fun. Zambia is scoring goals for fun. We are playing teams like Botswana. We are playing teams like Algeria. They practically left the midfield for us. Even at that, we were misplacing passes in the midfield. It's as bad as that. I mean, the World Cup club was going on. I started to watch Nigeria on that Sunday, and I was regretting the decision of watching Nigeria. We are playing a game that we're supposed to be able to dispatch the team. We can't even string two passes together. And we are so lucky because we are playing against teams that are not, battling for balls in the midfield. They practically left us, and we are still making mistakes in passing the ball. Our attackers, when they get the ball, they can't even control. Our attackers are so slow in front of goal. The only outstanding player is Echegini. Out of everybody,
Jerry,
those are supposed to be supplying the crosses.
Jerry, are you aware?
It's just a bad game.
Jerry, are you aware that this Botswana team we are talking about, if you give this Botswana team to America, China, or France, they'll give them nothing less than 10-0.
Let me not even tell you.
You agree?
As far as this championship is concerned,
do you agree, Jerry?
It's very, very possible.
So it means they are a small team.
The thing is that, do you know that even the Moroccan national team, the current coach of the Morocco team, was the coach who won the last World Cup with Spain? So Morocco, now you cannot compare the quality of Morocco to that of the Super Falcons in terms of their bench.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So other teams
I was talking about Madugu here. That was what I was talking about Madugu.
The thing is that we have to give you the benefit of doubt.
You are hoping.
Yeah. We have to give him the benefit of doubt.
You cannot give what you don't have.
Randy Waldron said this prior to the championship. We all said they should keep short and let the team go there and do their best. You get it? The thing is that we have the quality players. I just hope that Madugu has
hope again, Jerry.
Yeah. That's the only thing we can do. But it's not renewed hope anyway. It's just hope.
See, Jerry, candle wax. Candle wax.
Anyway, my always say South Africa is scoring for fun. I'm not seeing 10-0. I'm not seeing 7-0. I'm not seeing 8-0. So it's not like before as it used to be. And with all due respect, the thing is that we don't have the perpetuals of this world like we used to have back in the days.
True.
In our midfield now, who do we have that can even lace Perpetual's shoe? Or the Messi Akides of this world.
The Patience Avrays.
Those players were up there. You know what we have now. We're just trying to bring in players who can at least compete.
Jerry, but
imagine you have a quality of Perpetual in that midfield. Come on,
Jerry,
we'll not be saying this now.
Jerry,
we'll not be saying it. Asisa is already aging. She's not playing in a top form like she used to be back in the days. I remember Asisa upgraded from the under-20. Yeah, she upgraded from the under-20 when they told that Nations Cup. I was here as goal scorer.
Yeah.
But what are we doing with our age-grade teams now? What are we doing with our age-grade teams?
Jerry, boy,
how many age-grade players from the under-20 are blooding? Now we are bringing Babajide, who is trying to blood into African football. Because African football is different.
Jerry, we are saying the same
Because
thing.
the way they will play you, because you've gone to a game as a footballer when you are playing amateurs, you notice that your pattern will be distorted. It will not be as we are playing good footballers. Because the way they will play will somehow make you uncomfortable. African football is different from what's obtainable in Europe.
But Jerry, is that the reason why many of these guys cannot even control the ball?
Don't worry, they'll get it. They'll get it.
They can't control
They'll get
the
it
ball.
right. They'll
They
get it right.
cannot.
These girls are still professionals. Let's not take it away from them.
Jerry, our
But
football,
they can't control the
our
ball.
football.
They cannot.
is-
Don't worry, they'll
our
control it
football
against
is
Zambia.
dying.
Don't worry. Leave it on Friday. On Friday, we'll see that game. Anyway, other quarterfinal fixtures include South Africa versus Senegal. Definitely that's a big game. Algeria versus Ghana. And the host Morocco versus Mali as the competition heats up towards the semi-finals. And if the Super Falcons win, they might be playing South Africa. That's a game I'm looking forward to. But it's going to be a firecracker. That will be the final before the final. And of course, Morocco, one team to also look forward to because they have the team, young players, and they have a coach who has won the World Cup before.
Morocco has a very, very good
And they're the host team.
football project across all cadres.
Yeah.
The only problem they have, right, is they don't have the
Natural
natural
talent.
talent as much as their competitors in the West Africa, because West Africans countries are spoiled for talent. But when it comes to administration, trust me, the North Africans are way up there above any other group of Africans. And Morocco is actually taking the lead at this point.
All right, this is what it is. All right, let's talk about the man of the moment, Victor Osimhen. Tensions are rising over Victor Osimhen's potential transfer from Napoli to Galatasaray, as reports reveal that the Galatasaray fans sent death threats via WhatsApp to Eduardo De Laurentiis, son of Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis. The threats were allegedly triggered by the delay in finalizing the Nigerian striker's move. Eduardo responded firmly, stating he would involve the police to ensure the sender is identified and prosecuted. The transfer talks have been ongoing for a week, with the main hurdle being the 75 million euros release clause in Osimhen's contract, which Napoli insists must be paid in full. I think this is unrealistic. It's just that they don't want this man to go. I saw a tweet, and I even saw a message on WhatsApp from my friend who is actually not in Nigeria. He's based in the UK. Said it looks like this man will have to run down his contract in Napoli. I think I told him that's absolutely not going to happen, because if he does that, people will forget whether he exists. That is what Laurentiis is able to do. He's a very difficult bargainer, and I think him adding clauses, making life difficult for Osimhen, it shows that maybe Osimhen will have to go and visit him and prostrate and say, Oga, what do I do? You let me go. Just let me go. What do you want? You want me to wash your car? You want me to do something? Just let me go. You don't want me to play for you? Just let me go and live my life. I'm 27. Imagine I'm your son. Is this how you treat your son? I think this is one taken too far.
So Jerry, for the benefit of those who really don't understand how football contract runs, when they say a player is sold for XY amount, right? It means that in some cases, at the max a club will get from a player for that amount is about 20%. That's the max. It's even unrealistic. In most cases, around between 10 to 15%. So if you look at 15% of 75 million euros, we were talking about something around close to 20 million pounds, right? Right. So if that is too much of a fee for Victor Osimhen to shed, because trust me, right, if the club is taking that amount, the rest is going to...
Yeah, the club is saying they can pay 60. He could actually look for 10. Is that what you're saying?
No,
now?
what I'm saying is, if the club side is taking, if, for example, say about 70 million, 10% is 7 million, right? So 20% will be around 14 million. So let's around that figure. Now, if the club is taking 14 million out of the entire sales, which of course the bulk of the money is going back to Victor Osimhen. So why is it difficult for Osimhen to say, okay, you know what, this is the case, right? And this is exactly what because they are actually calculating from what their own end will be.
And I think Bean stops there. It didn't stop there. They are still saying that he's not going to move to an Italian club for the next 3 seasons. And they want a sell-on clause, 20%. That when they sell him in the future, they will still get 20% out of the deal. See, that's crazy. You don't just say you don't want to sell the player.
No, Jerry. See, that might have been part of the clause when Osimhen was signing. They cannot add that clause now. It's impossible.
No, if they are going to sell him,
that's what I'm saying.
They say they want to add a sell-on clause. If they are going to sell
him to Galatasaray.
Yes.
Right, because their intention was to actually ship him over to, perhaps maybe Saudi Arabia, where they can actually even get more money.
Are this supposedly the one to determine where the player wants to go if he doesn't want to go to that club?
The truth is, the reason why it feels like they're actually making this, they are having this bargain cheap with them is the fact that this guy.
It looks like Galatasaray is desperate.
No, they don't even have the money to pay once, and
that's what they put on the offer on the table. Okay, let's pay 60
and they are saying
spread the balance.
And they are saying
that's more than
Jerry.
That's more than 90% of the deal.
They have the advantage. The ball is in their court. That's why they're saying we don't want that sort of
wickedness.
Well, you call it whatever it is. It's business.
It's pure wickedness and evil.
They are saying this is how we want our money. We want it once. And now because they cannot.
No, it's not realistic.
If it's their clubs can pay that money.
Galatasaray doesn't have that kind of money.
That's why they're actually playing the ball now. That's why Napoli is having the advantage. So if Victor Osimhen Victor Osimhen wants to make this move,
you are saying this logically, like what they are doing is right.
No, I'm not saying it's what is right. I'm saying that's what the contract says.
If the contract says that, the thing is that no matter how a law is, no matter how rigid a law is, there are other ways to also look at it. It's not like it's written in cast in stone. It depends on Laurentiis. If Laurentiis said, okay, yeah, you can pay 60 million, spread the remaining 10 million.
Jerry,
it won't take anything out of him.
Jerry, I want to ask you a question. I want to sell, if I say I want to sell you this tab, and this tab is supposed to be 20 naira. I want to sell this tab. And then you say, Ikechuku, this is what I have, 10 naira now. Of course, I promise to pay you 5. And I say, no, I want it once. Does that make me wicked?
It doesn't make you wicked. Because you're talking about a material thing, and we're talking about a player's future.
That's how clubs I see players. They are commodities.
Really sad. Maiwa, look at the clauses. Look at what Laurentiis is demanding from a club side that can barely pay such kind of money for a player. Is that not showing that the Laurentiis is just taking this thing too far, and it looks like Osimhen might be the victim and even the death threat? Anyway, I don't encourage such. And I don't know. I think it shows that moving to Napoli for any player in the future is a very dangerous game for me. Yeah.
Well, the thing is this. First of all, they should let karma health prevail. It's not what's putting anybody over. It's just football. Sooner or later, all these stars they will pass away. All of our stars will come up. There is no reason to want to kill anybody because of a transfer move. So whoever is sending the dread threat should stop and should not act on it. Because football fans, they might be really crazy and go and act on it. They should please not do that. Now, coming to the situation of Victor Osimhen. The thing is this, Victor Osimhen signed the contract. When he was signing the contract, there were a whole lot of clauses in the contract. If Galatasaray does not want Napoli to hold all the aces in terms of dictating what they would do in terms of selling Osimhen and the rest of that, they should cough out the 70 million pounds. If they cannot do it, Osimhen should find another 10 million and add up to it and pay. The moment they are not paying in full, they are giving Napoli the reason to demand whatever they want. We might want to call it wickedness or whatever it is business. And I would not want to fault the Laurentiis. Osimhen knew what he was getting into. He knew the kind of contract he was signing. That is the reason why we need to be very careful. You don't make decisions when you are the happiest. You don't make decisions when you are the saddest. Because in those moments, you are very vulnerable and you might make decisions that will come back to haunt you. Osimhen was very young at the time he was signing that contract because he had just achieved a whole lot for Napoli and he didn't read the fine lines. He didn't think of the future. Now the future is here and it's biting him in the butt. So I won't blame Laurentiis. If Osimhen wants to leave, actually, Galatasaray can find all the money. Osimhen should, find the 10 million. And the clauses of sell-on clause and the rest of that will not be there. But provided Galatasaray is ready to pay the full amount, they have given Napoli the opportunity to do what they want. Some people might see it as wickedness. It's not wickedness. It's just pure business. Players are just commodities, and that is just it. If you are performing, you are a cash cow for your owner, and Osimhen is a cash cow for Napoli, and they can do whatever they want since the suitors are not able to pay the amount. So it's just so sad, and I hope other players and Osimhen will take this as a lesson next time when they want to sign another contract with another club.
All right. We even heard that Napoli is interested in converting the current African footballer of the year, Ademola Lookman. I think Ademola Lookman, please, if you don't want to be like Osimhen, stay at Atalanta. Whatever they do to you, just stay there. Anytime you run out your contract, you move to Saudi and cash out and carry it. Because moving to Napoli, it's going to be a difficult call for any player, most especially when you start doing well. The history has taught us, because I remember Gonzalo Higuain, when he was to leave Napoli, it was a really difficult call. The Laurentiis wouldn't play ball. Madrid had to cough out the whole of that £30 million to get him to Real Madrid. And of course, many other players. You saw Koulibaly. Koulibaly stayed when age was no longer his friend before he made the move to Chelsea. He had one fantastic season. Age told on him. He started dropping form. He had to go to the Saudi League. Go by Isak. I'm trying to remember the Uruguayan striker right now.
Edison Cavani.
Cavani
almost was going to rot.
You can
mention Napoli. He had to, when he left, it was just that age. He was still a very strong player. He still went on to prove himself with PSG, and the rest is history. I want to even remember, was it the Slovenian Hamsik?
No, Hamsik is like a god in Napoli. He chose to stay put.
There were times he wanted to leave. I'm telling you, Laurentiis wouldn't play ball.
He signed a life contract.
Yeah, that's how difficult.
No, not a man who wants to leave. A man who wants to leave will not sign a life contract.
Insigne, I remember Insigne's situation too. A lot of clubs were looking for him. Laurentiis refused and said no, he's going nowhere.
No, see, but the thing is, as any club side meets the valuation of the Laurentiis and he says you're not going.
See, Laurentiis.
No, these are the things.
Laurentiis is a very difficult man to do business with.
See, Jerry, pay me my money.
See, let me tell you.
The thing is this: Napoli themselves, clubs do it all the time. When you, I'll give a typical example. Chelsea will sign players, and they will sign the players for 8 years or whatever it is, and they will break down how they will pay the club instrumentally. Because of this FFP, a whole lot of clubs are not free enough to pay everything in cash. A whole lot of transfers are done instrumentally. Napoli themselves, they do the same thing. So why is it that when it comes to the Laurentiis and it's on your case, it will make life difficult for you? That's where the problem is.
But is there a rule that says if you choose not to accept instrumental payments, you're committing a crime? I want to understand.
Is that there's no rule. Okay, the player you don't want to use him, you're not interested in playing him. You relegated him to. He's saying
pay me. If you pay me, you can have it.
It's not about that. You are just being unrealistic.
No, Jerry, I'm not being unrealistic.
Another Laurentiis.
No, Jerry, no. A businessman will see. No,
you don't want to use
the act of business is like a war, Jerry.
See,
the first thing you look out for is your business.
The act of business is like war. Yes. The player is rotten. You are not using him. You are not using him to do anything.
That's exactly why he's in advantage. He won the league without Osimhen. He's doing so fine. He's in Europe now. So I mean, Osimhen is more like what will I call it? A used water. A water you use to wash hand. He wants to throw it away.
That means
but you want it, then come give me money. If you think you cannot afford it, leave it there.
Maybe Osimhen did a disservice to himself by excelling at Galatasaray.
No, he did a disservice.
He should have gone to Galatasaray and flopped on purpose, so that maybe the bargaining chip will not be this.
Will not even be having a conversation of Galatasaray wanting to keep him.
Yes, no.
So who wants him?
At least he will disguise and move to a cheaper club.
Which cheaper club?
Yes, now maybe.
No, give an example.
Maybe have gone to Man United.
Man United.
Yes.
So
for a court price. Yes, for a court price.
See, there is no. See,
Arali will be happy to have him for 40 million.
Jerry, if Osimhen had flopped in Galatasaray, that would be the end of his career.
Definitely not.
No top team will look at him.
Definitely not. All he would have just done flop, moved to Manchester
Liverpool
United
would have looked at him
for 40 million.
Oh, Liverpool have looked at him.
No.
Why?
But Man United will look at him.
Why? Man
Because
United.
his track record proves that he's a decent player.
Jerry, you are as good as your
So how would he be a dumping ground for a top player?
Jerry, who's top
The
player?
thing is that-
you are as good as your last season.
Let me tell you, the thing is that there are some things. That's why I always say the people around Osimhen, if his agent had done a smart one on Laurentiis, by now, when he was moving to Galatasaray, they would have known the club he was going to move to before that loan deal. He would have struck a deal with another club. Now, whatever happens at Galatasaray, it's a game plan. This is what we want to achieve. His agent would have smartly. No, Laurentiis may believe he is smart. Had it been Osimhen had a very good agent working for him, I'm telling you, we'll not come here and be debating clause. You have 3 years, blah blah blah, and so on. If Mendes was beside him, for instance, or the late, I'm trying to remember his name. I always forget his name.
Raola.
Imagine Raola was one representing him. Do you think Laurentiis will be all these things? We'll not be talking about all this. But it is what it is. Let's not dwell on Osimhen. I think I'm tired already. I'm already exhausted. I think Osimhen's situation is exhausting. But it is what it is. Well, let's talk about what's happening and talk about people who are serious about making transfers.
That's why I don't want to dwell on Osimhen.
I'm tired. I mean, it's exhausting. It's exhausting saying the same thing every time and no result. It's just like Nigerian problem, you know. I think we should let it be. Just pray.
So who are the people that are serious?
Yeah, Liverpool. They're making a move for Isak.
I'm really shocked.
Liverpool is serious. They've tabled 120 million pounds for Isak. Yeah, that's what they should be talking about. Osimhen. Liverpool is interested in signing the striker.
Why? I see now. Osimhen is almost half the price. Almost half the price.
Do you know why?
I don't know. Tell me.
You know the reason why.
Jerry, tell me.
You know the reason why.
I don't know, Jerry.
He's 27.
How old is Isak?
Isak is still 24, 25.
25, going to 26.
You see, no,
How old is
not
Isak?
25. Isak should be 24. Yeah.
No,
24.
He's
still very young.
25. He should be 25.
Yeah, that's 2 years. And he's by January he'll be 25 next year. Okay, he has Premier League track record. He has proven himself in the Premier League, and he's playing for Newcastle United, who have qualified for the Champions League.
Osimhen has won titles, two different leagues.
He can win the international series of what I care. About 27. The Liverpool transfer policy. The Liverpool transfer policy says players within 24 and his max 25. If you take a look at the players they've been signing, I'm not the one who made the transfer policy. So if they're going to even sign Osimhen, it would just be, let's just find one money somewhere. But that's a lot of money to spend on a 27-year-old crying out loud. And there are a lot of issues that has to do with Laurentiis. He's playing hardball.
Yeah, he's not going to play hardball. If you have the money, if you have 120 million, just almost half this price would have safely landed Osimhen in Merseyside.
And that would be good business.
Because
easy business, no issue.
No, that means in 2 years, 3 years time, you'll be looking for another striker. Let's not forget, Jota is, God bless his soul, is already out. Darwin Núñez is on his way out. And
you can keep Darwin Núñez now.
Darwin Núñez.
With Osimhen.
No, we can never keep Darwin Núñez. You cannot. Darwin Núñez and Osimhen can never play in the same team. Maybe you're okay. He's been a joker right now. I think. Anyway, the news is that Liverpool has still won £20 million for Isak. It's now left for Newcastle United to accept. We hear that they might not be accepting, saying that they don't want to sell him in this transfer window. Maybe in the next transfer window, they might be ready to play ball. Mario.
Well, I think, to be honest, 120 million valuation is too much. Yes, Isak is a fantastic player. I think he finished third on the highest goal scorer in the last season, if I'm not mistaken, with over 22 or 23 goals, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a fantastic
player for Newcastle. It's a fantastic player for Newcastle. However, I think 120 million pounds is too much. That's too much valuation. That's number one. Number two, Newcastle are also very terrible in the transfer market. Last season, they only spent about 70 million. Now, they are not in the market for anything. So why would you sell your best and, when you are not recruiting? So
no, they've tabled 70 million for Hugo Ekitike. Yeah, they've tabled 70 million.
Well,
already.
The move has not been confirmed yet. Until Ekitike comes in, that's when you can start thinking of selling Isak. What if you sell Isak and
Do you know how bad it
Ekitike
is?
decides
They
not
want to
come.
even
So,
sign
I mean,
Ekitike to join Isak. They are not even willing to sell. They want to sign him to play alongside Isak in the attack. So that means maybe
yes,
they
sir,
have.
that's the team. That's the team that has a foresight. You know, they are in Europe. They have foresight.
Yeah.
They know they'll be very competitive next season. What's Manchester United doing?
You should answer that.
At least I think you'll be talking to Ratcliffe now. Let's talk about people who are serious. Please leave Ratcliffe and your board aside. Let's talk about Isak. Still talking about transfers, we hear that Luis Diaz has said that he wants to leave, and we've heard that 58.5 million pounds has been rejected by Liverpool from Bayern Munich.
Liverpool is beginning to play De Laurentiis ball now.
No, this is a different one.
How is it different?
He has 2 years left in his contract.
So what's the value of Luis Diaz? What are his bailables? What is he bringing in? In the past 3 seasons.
See, before now, Liverpool was having a conversation where he might go. But with the way the situation Liverpool is right now, they are not in a position to let Luis Diaz go when they've not secured any player.
Okay, it's about securing, not because of the valuation.
Yeah, it's not majorly about the valuation. You get. So it's about why let Luis Diaz go when you've not even made any striking options in terms of sales and transfers. So it will be a very difficult round to make. We will have to go. Big thanks, Maiwa. Big thanks, Ikechukwu. I know you don't understand what it means to sign players at the moment, but I don't exactly want to dwell on this one. But big thanks to all the guys behind the scene. Talk about the likes of Shegun, Sam, Jeremiah, and of course Hassan for being awesome on the show. My name is Jerry. Our player is saying, if not for anything at all, do it to sports.